Miss Real Sports, Sports Illustrated report.
Royce White was a superstar at Iowa State last year.
Beautiful move by Royce White!
The only player in the entire country to lead his team in all 5 major categories: scoring, rebounding, assists, block shots, and steals. And after this game against top-ranked Kentucky in the 2012 NCAA tournament, there was no doubt about how good he was. Some said he was one of the top 5 college players in the nation.
Stole the ball, and here he comes again.
He was a little more specific.
What did you say there?
I'm the best player in the country.
Did you think that at the time?
I knew that at the time.
You knew that? You knew that at the time?
Yeah.
You dunked over Anthony Davis, who was the #1 pick.
Mm-hmm. I abused him all game. I didn't just dunk over him. I just abused their whole team all game.
The Houston Rockets drafted White in the first round last summer, gave him a multi-million-dollar contract, and everyone was happy. That was then. Now, Royce White shoots around in a local gym in Houston all by himself. He hasn't played a single minute for the team all season. In fact, he's refused to show up to practice and even for games. Not because of any physical disorder, but because Royce White has a mental disorder. He has a history of panic attacks and suffers from the kind of anxiety that can leave him weak and debilitated.
Royce, it's a business. They need your talent on the court. They really don't want to hear that you had an anxiety attack this afternoon.
I'm sure they wouldn't want to hear that James Harden broke his ankle either. But there's a health reality that exists. Some player doesn't show up for practice, and it was because of his knee. They say he didn't show up for practice because of your knee.
But in your case...
They just say he didn't show up for practice.
And that sounds like you're what?
At fault.
But White says he's no more at fault than a player with a physical injury. His condition is called generalized anxiety disorder, which means he's constantly worrying about all sorts of things. Take flying. He hates it. He doesn't even like to hear the word airplane.
I get nervous when people even talk about planes. That's how bad my plane anxiety is, actually.
You want me to change the subject?
No, it's fine. But realistically, I am nervous right now talking about it. If you ever had butterflies for a long, long time, usually it starts to build up, right? And then the other things come. The sweaty palms come. Fastened heartbeat comes.
Throwing up?
Throwing up has come before. Almost feeling like I'm going to pass out from being lightheaded has come before. And all these things, happen before I even get to the airport.
What do you equate flying with?
Being 35,000 feet in the air in a steel death trap. That's what my mind thinks of.
That's not a good thing to think about if you're in the NBA and you have to fly all over the place for your next game. Which is why White told the Rockets he needs someone to drive him to as many away games as possible at the team's expense. He said he's entitled to that under the Americans with Disabilities Act. The Rockets gave in. But getting around in a car is no picnic for White either. That also makes him nervous.
The driving makes me uncomfortable, because, again, there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of other people on the road. We live in the age of texting and driving, and
that makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I don't want somebody texting and driving.
Yeah.
They might run into me.
Yeah, but I'm more scared of it than you are. I'm thinking if this guy right here in front of us is texting and driving, and I'm watching his car to make sure that if he does something abrasive because he's texting and driving, I'll be prepared to do what's necessary to protect myself.
Are you really wondering if he's texting and driving?
Now I'm wondering, is this car texting and driving?
On the basketball court, Royce White is absolutely fine. In fact, it's one of the few places he is comfortable.
Wow. Is that a way to shake the place up? My goodness.
But it's all the other stuff that made NBA general managers wonder if they really wanted to risk a draft pick on someone with so many problems. This was the scene last summer, the night of the NBA draft, as White's agent heard from one team after another about their interest or lack of interest in his client.
Philadelphia's out. Okay? Houston's out. And McHale can pull this off, Houston's a question mark at 18. The rest of the room, other than McHale, says you're too risky. Okay?
Yeah.
Kevin McHale, the head coach of the Rockets, was Royce White's best chance.
Orlando's out.
Okay.
Denver's out. Boston's out.
They're out?
Okay, that brings us to 23.
Okay.
Indiana's out. Miami's out. Oklahoma City's out.
You know why they didn't want you?
Because mental health is uncertain right now.
Uncertain is a nice way to put it. They thought you were a little crazy, I guess, right?
Well, I mean, that's the stigma that exists. So I expected it. It represents a lack of awareness and a presence of very serious, very detrimental stigma.
On the night of the draft, a camera crew from the website Grantland was following White around,
Can't sit. I'm sorry, can't sit.
shooting a documentary for its YouTube channel. And as his draft prospects fell, White's anxiety rose.
This room with that projection screen, I can't be in here. This feels like a pack of wolves to me.
Despite his immense talent, the night was looking bleak for Royce White until
The Houston Rockets select Royce White.
I want people to see that you can deal with your disorder, or you can chase your dream. That's as scared as I've been in a long time, man. Long time. They took a chance on me. They didn't have to. They took a chance on me.
But 7 months later, gratitude has turned to distrust. The turning point came just before the season began. Royce White made a demand of the Rockets that no pro team had ever heard before. He wanted the team to agree to a 4-page list of rules, what he calls a mental health protocol, which he submitted in this memo. The key point, he wants an independent doctor, not the team, to have the final say on when he's well enough to play and when he's not.
I want a medical point person that will remain neutral and keep the interest in health.
And if that medical health point person says Royce is suffering from anxiety today, he can't play against the Lakers tonight, then you
Then I
think,
can't play against the Lakers tonight.
really?
Just like if your orthopedist says Royce's left toe has a crack in it and he shouldn't run or jump against the Lakers tonight, and I can't run or jump against the Lakers tonight.
But I mean, you think there's no substantial difference between the guy with the physical injury and the guy with the mental?
The only difference is you can't see mine. There's no swelling, so to speak. It's not purple.
There are people who are going to watch this, I'm fairly certain, who say, who do you think you are? You haven't scored 1 point in the NBA. You haven't played 1 game in the NBA. Who are you to tell a team what the rules are?
I totally get it. Who do you think you are? Why does my worth need to be measured by how many rebounds I've clocked? If I'm saying something true, why does it need a rebound accompanied with it?
And well, because you're a basketball player.
No, I'm a human being. That's it.
And you may be a human being without a job in the NBA. You're willing to accept that?
Yes. But I'm not going to accept it without a fight.
Actually, the fight's been going on for months. Last November, the Rockets sent White this letter, obtained by Real Sports, saying they bent over backwards trying to make him happy, but that nothing seems to work. Then, a few weeks ago, after he still refused to play unless he got that independent doctor who would make all decisions about his ability to play, the Rockets said they had had enough. They suspended him and stopped paying his $3.3 million contract.
Mental health is a documented disability by federal law. It's been around for a long time. It's not brand new. It's new to talk about. It's new to admit. It's not new. My health can't be bought. My morals can't be bought. I remain to advocate for myself to have healthy, safe work environment. I remain to stick to my morals.
Royce White is either courageous or insufferable, depending on your point of view. But one thing is certain. Because of his hard line, coming from a 21-year-old who hasn't played a single minute in the NBA, he's accumulated a lot of detractors.
You found it. What you have found is Houston's #1 sports radio program.
I don't doubt that he's got an illness. I'm not questioning that. I'm questioning the way he's handled it. I don't believe this guy's ever going to amount to anything because I can't trust that even if he gets what he wants, he'll be completely satisfied. If you've got his...
In case you're wondering, last year at Iowa State, White didn't miss a single game. He even flew to Italy with the team for an exhibition because, he says, he trusted his coaches. He could trust the Rockets too, he says, if they would just give him that medical point person, that doctor to whom the team would defer on mental health issues. And then he says he probably wouldn't miss a single game this year either. There's just one problem.
I think that opens the door for the team to lose control over its most important quality, which is the ability to play players in a way that makes sense for the team.
Michael McCann teaches law at the University of New Hampshire and is one of the nation's top scholars in matters involving sports and the law.
White is the first athlete to test a league and a team as to how flexible they can be with his mental health condition. White is a pioneer in that regard. The Rockets could say, look, we could have this neutral physician as part of the conversation. Having influence, having input, that might be reasonable. Having this person be the final decision maker or the only decision maker, not reasonable.
What it comes down to for Royce White is that he needs structure, organization, predictability, which goes a long way to explain his closet.
You see my hangers are like spaced immaculately and all my suits are facing the same way.
Besides anxiety disorder, Royce White also suffers from OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder.
This closet is almost a visual symbol of what you need in your life to function. I mean, you need organization, you need precision.
The item in here that represents the most anxiety for me is these hats right here. They're easily misplaced. They're easily displaced. It's a round shape on a hook, on a square. It's just geometrically it messes with my mind. Which is why I'm very careful when I come in my own closet.
Because you don't want to.
Yeah, because
you don't want to bump into the hats.
Yeah, because I don't want to have to spend 20 minutes trying to fix it.
And you don't want me to even.
I would prefer if you don't.
Okay.
It's not officially over yet between the Rockets and Royce White. There's some behind-the-scenes talking still going on. The Rockets, who wouldn't talk to us for this story, have said they want him on the team, and White says he wants to play, but only if the two sides can come to an agreement. And what if they can't? Is White really prepared to give up the dream he's had ever since he was a little kid, a dream shared by so many who don't have anywhere near the talent that Royce White does? There are people watching us right now who would just kill to be in the NBA. They kill to have an opportunity that you have. But you've said, but who would kill themselves to be there? How is playing in the NBA like killing yourself?
If I was to play in the NBA now as it is, without the protocols, without the safety measures, I would be risking my health. I would be risking my life. What comes along with mental health that goes untreated? Alcohol abuse, marijuana abuse, suicidal behavior, homicidal behavior. Those are things I'm not willing to risk to play basketball, to have money, to have fame.
End of discussion?
That's it.